Well, Rom, Bumblefoot, Thal, congratulations. Welcome to RockEyez, and congratulations on the returns. You
Thank
know,
you so much. Yeah, it's been a long time in the making.
cool, cool.
Yeah.
Actually, how long did it take?
Well, let's see. It was really during the pandemic in 2020 that I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to make another instrumental album.
Uh,
But musically, there were a couple of things that I grabbed from the past. Like the oldest thing was this riff I had from when I was 19 years old that I just never did anything with. It was like this. And I was like, you know what? I should just turn that into a song. So that's the first thing that I did is I took that riff and built it up into a song. Like that's the first thing I did with the intention of making an album.
right.
And so that was a riff that was just lurking in the back of my head since 1989, just waiting for a moment to become a song.
Wow.
So with that one, after I put it together, I was thinking, all right, 1989. I was in a guitar magazine back then, and somebody wrote to me that saw me in the magazine and said, "Hi, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Guthrie. I'm a guitar player from England, and here's my demo. I hope you enjoy it." And that was Guthrie Govan, and we became pen pals, and we would write each other just handwritten letters and send each other cassettes of riffs and songs we were making and demos, and just we were these guitar friend pen pals from the days before email. So when the song came together, I was like, you know what? It has this whole middle section for a nice long solo. What if I do a trade-off? And the perfect guy for that would be someone that I met right at the time that I thought of that riff to
Right.
just sort of complete the whole circle of 1989 life of the song.
Right.
So I asked Guthrie, I was like, hey, you want to trade back and forth on this one? He's like, sure. And he threw down a solo. So that was the first thing I did. There were two instrumental singles that I had put out in 2019. That song Cintaku, that's an Indonesian word. It means my love. And 2020, as soon as Sons of Apollo, we were on the European tour, got 4 shows in out of 20, and I had to just race home and everything shut down. So I had this other riff that I had written for the second Sons of Apollo album and that thing, at the time, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep that one for myself.
Right. Yeah.
Like, oh, come on. Yeah. Right. So the first thing I did when we shut down is I took that riff and turned it into a song, finished it and put it out. Just digitally, just stuck it out there. So that's gonna be on the album too, so at least it'll be on vinyl, on CD, and cassette on physical stuff.
Right. Cool.
And I did a fun thing with that song at the time where after I put it out, I made a video where I'm playing the riff and then there's just black empty space, no video, and it just says you. And I left out my part that I was playing and just left the backing tracks so that other people can add themselves playing to it, and told them all just upload a video and I'll share it, and had like 500 people that did it. And it wasn't just guitar players, it was drummers and bass players and singers. Dino Jalusic, the singer of Whom Gods Destroy, he did one where he wrote words to it,
Right.
and violinists and horn players, everything. And it was a great way for everyone to stay connected.
Right. Yeah.
So that was really nice. That was a nice way of not feeling so isolated while we're isolated. So those 2 songs put on the album as well.
Cool. Cool.
What else? There was a song I did for a video game in 2010. It was a Chopin piece where they were making this video game, sort of like Rock Band, Guitar Hero, to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Chopin's birthday. And they did rock versions. They wanted to do rock versions of Chopin songs, so I did one. And I remember telling them that the only deal is someday I may want to stick this on my own album. So it could be exclusive for the game, but at some point I may want to use it. So 15 years later, had Kyle, my drummer, Kyle Hughes, greatest drummer, incredible. He played on the thing, and I replaced the drums that were on there, and I added some orchestra in the middle, and put that on the album as well. And I believe everything else is brand spanking new that I just wrote since 2020. The album was done, mixed, mastered, ready to come out by June of 2023. Right. So it was pretty much mid-end 2020 to early 2023 is when I was writing and recording. Right. And I would have loved to have it out by July of 2023. But Art of Anarchy was working on an album. Whom Gods Destroy was working on an album. I was producing the Doties album, this album Dreamism that's going to come out this year. I was busy working where if I told them all, okay, I need to stop and just focus on my thing, I would have been screwing 3 record labels and 10 other people. Yeah. So rather than doing that, I just kind of stopped work on my album, stopped work on, I should say, the work was preparing to release it, right. Which is a lot of fucking work. There's a lot of branches to that tree, organizing the artists. Like, here's what we did. I started making a music video, and then this guy, Radek Grabinski from Poland, incredible artist, like he does video games. Right. And he offered to help me with the music video and to make a video game, which we did. We have a Simon in Space video game. It's like this retro Space Invaders type game for computer and for phones. And it was going to come out with the single, but at the very last minute, like days before it was coming out, Apple pulled it and said, we need to review this extra. Uh-huh. And they're still not done doing that. So it's held up everything, and I didn't want to put it out just for PC and Android. I wanted it to be there for everyone. So I am waiting and waiting for Apple to give the okay to put it back in the store and put it out. And it's just a free video game just to make the release fun. Right. So, all right, there's the video game, there's the music video, which took like a year of animating and all this crazy stuff. There was designing the main creature for the album cover, right. Which was this, like my double neck guitar, but as a spaceship. Yep. So a guy designed that. And then I got a 3D modeler to turn it into a 3D virtual model so that we didn't need to keep redrawing it every time we needed it at a different angle. You just turn the 3D model and right. Render a 2D image. Plus we could use that in the video game and the music video, which we did. Right. So that all took time. Then getting the artist to do all the artwork for the layouts for the vinyl, the CD, and the cassette, each one being different. The vinyl, right. A lot of artwork. I wanted to have a ton of artwork for each thing because that's what we always loved about physical stuff. Right, yeah. So why not go all out? So the vinyl is 2 discs, opens up, art. The second disc is clear with artwork on the 4th side. Right. And this way, when you're playing the music on sides 1, 2, and 3, you can see the artwork from the 4th side, the spaceships spinning and everything, or you could just put it on side 4 and just look at it and or put it on there. Each disc comes in its sleeve that has different full color art on each side. So that's the vinyl. The CD, same thing, it opens up. You have the disc, you have artwork everywhere. And then the booklet, instead of a stapled booklet, my God, I talk so much. It unfolds into a big square that has artwork on both sides. The cassette, cassette, why not? My first album was on cassette, so I was like, right. Fuck it, I'm putting this on cassette too. It unfolds and unravels into this long strip of artwork on this side and on the other side. Everything has a lot of artwork. So arranging all of that and then finding the right manufacturers and aligning all that stuff to the templates and getting that taken care of, making the new website, right. Making all the new merch that'll go along with the album. And I hired good team of people at Leckberg Enterprises. Jason Leckberg, who does work with Guar and Steel Panther and all these bands. So he helped me organize all of that stuff. So really good team. And then Deko Records, who you know, great bunch of guys. I've done guest solos on albums that they've released of different artists. So I was talking to Charlie, and he's like, hey, so what have you been up to? I told him about the album. He's like, would you be interested in us taking care of everything that you're not taking care of, like physical retail and all of that? So they're doing that stuff. And so organizing everything with that. And then Charlie, him and I'm sorry, I'm mixing up like everybody. But then we started talking about doing a comic book. So now the next thing is we're going to work on a comic book. So there is so much, all of this, besides just making the album. It's like this stuff is tougher than making the music itself.
Yeah.
And then there's all the promotion and everything that has to go with that, just letting people know it exists. So all of that was a good year of work.
Yeah.
And that's why an album that was finished in the summer of 2023 is coming out in the winter of 2025. Yeah.
But you guys got so many bundle packages, you could get it all. You know?
Yeah.
I was looking at all the bundles that you're, I don't know if Deco's putting it out or you're putting it out on your site, I guess everywhere. And you got like 10 different packages available to fans.
Yeah. With Deko, we'll have like the CD or the vinyl and one of these guitar picks with artwork on it and a poster. And then at my site, there's everything from pet bowls to Simon in space. Simon is my cat, by the way, as an astronaut who's flying that spaceship, guitar spaceship. T-shirts of him and stickers and bundles that include a guest solo on one of your songs or an online guitar lesson, plus all the digital downloads and the shirts and the physical stuff, everything. Yeah, just want to give everybody every possible option, every way to experience this thing. Yeah.
And the pets, the dog bowl or cat bowl or animal bowl, whatever you want to call it. I looked at it, I go, no, that can't be. And I had to enlarge it on my computer.
Mugs, beanies, hoodies, all of that stuff. Yes.
Cool. That's what people want, They want that stuff.
I hope so.
Yeah, I definitely think so. So tell me a little bit also about your hot sauce.
Yeah, that's the other thing I need to do. Thank you for reminding me. So I have been in the hot sauce business legitimately since 2013. And I have a hot sauce company. I have distro and resellers around the world. And I am going to make another hot sauce. I was looking at all the names of the songs. I was like, what could work? I was thinking, all right, like Monstruoso, that could be like a super hot one. Liftoff, that could be one that just makes you spontaneously crap yourself. But I was thinking Moonshine Hootenanny. I could make like a nice Cajun type sauce that has maybe boiled down moonshine in it.
Wow.
Or something like that. That would be pretty cool.
That'll get you going. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, it would
go with gumbo.
Down there.
Yeah, it would go with all kinds of stuff, actually. So, yeah, that's the other thing is I want to make a new hot sauce to go with the album. Moonshine Hootenanny.
That's good. Good. Yeah. How many scopos would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think maybe I'll just go medium with that one. I have 2 mild sauces. I have the all-purpose, everything goes with every kind of food you can imagine sauce called the sauce. It is the sauce that you want to just leave on your table. You put it on your eggs in the morning. You put it on your Italian, your Mexican, your Thai, your Indian, your Greek, whatever it is that you're eating at night. Then I have another one that's a barbecue-y sauce. It has bourbon, chipotle, cherry, and that one is called Bumbleicious.
Cool.
That one is a real nice one. Goes with barbecue, goes with steak, goes with stir fry, goes with all kinds of stuff. And both of those are pretty mild. It's just like a nice flavory sauce, a lot of flavor with just a little kick.
Right.
But then I have this other one that is so insanely, dangerously, inhumanely hot. One pinhead size amount on your tongue will make you scream running like this around the room for 10 minutes.
Right.
One drop will heat up an entire plate of food. It'll heat up a whole bowl of chili. That one is called Bumblefucked.
Wow.
And surprisingly, it's the best seller.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
People love that sauce.
I start tearing up, when I go to a Chinese place and I have wasabi. Your whole head like
The sweating.
takes off.
Yeah.
So that you need to make like a sample package of the hot sauce. This way, people could try each one, and the one they like the most could get a big bottle.
That is an excellent idea. So here's the thing about the hot sauce business. The standard 5-ounce glass bottle is the most common one. So it's very inexpensive for manufacturing.
Right.
Now, what I originally wanted to do is I wanted to put the sauce in pouches because they don't break, they're lighter to ship.
Yep.
You can actually put more artwork on the front face of a pouch. But to do that is so much more expensive. It would have raised the price so much more of the sauce. So I was like, you know what? Let me just keep it less expensive for people and just keep it in the standard bottle. But I did want to do of the Bumblefoot, little tiny ones, because like a bottle of that lasts for years because it's so potent that you don't need that much. You don't pour it on. You're just like, so I was thinking of making little ones like this big, like the size of like an eye drops. And just call them little fuckers.
Yeah, cool.
Little fuckers.
I like that.
So that's something I was thinking about as well. Cool. And I'm talking to a company in Indonesia that we've been planning to do pouches of sauce with noodles and things like that. And we were just talking about it, and they said to me, would you consider putting it in a pouch instead of a bottle? I was like, yes, please, let's do it. Yeah. So, good.
That'll definitely save on shipping,
I hope so. Yeah, because shipping is insane now. Shipping has gotten so expensive that even with the merch on the site, it costs almost twice as much for some people internationally than the product.
Yeah.
You get something for $15 and it's like $30 of shipping.
Yeah.
And that sucks. It's bad for them because either they're spending way too much money on shipping or they're not buying things and they reach out to me. They say, I would love to, but I can't. It's just too expensive.
Yeah.
So I am hoping that Deko Records, when they send to their partners cargo in the UK, that they could at least make the albums available regionally for people in Europe, where it won't be so expensive as it is to ship from the US. Yeah.
So you're an entrepreneur, and what's next? Right?
What is next? Sleep.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, then the other thing that everyone wants to know, am I going to go out? Am I going to tour and play these songs? Am I going to tour? I don't plan to. No, I don't want to tour.
Right,
I'll do one-off events, which I'm doing a lot of. Doing a lot of rock and roll fantasy camps. I love teaching. I love producing bands. Those are my favorite things.
Right.
And that's what I really want to be doing more of. And I love creating. So I love making music and making music available. But touring, my back is getting a little stiff for that. But I will happy to do one-off events, which I did a lot of last year.
Right.
And in February, I'm doing a rock and roll fantasy camp in LA. I'm doing another one in Florida in March. In April, early April, I'm going to play at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. And then the end of that month, I'm going to do, the Canary Islands.
Wow.
Spain.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
So I got a few things coming up. That's the most recent things
Right,
coming
right.
up, and there's going to be plenty more. Yeah.
Me too. I just retired in February. I had enough. No more. I worked in the same place 46 years. I did pretty well for myself as a young guy.
Well,
So
good for you,
you know,
and enjoy. You have the
I,
gift. You've given yourself the gift of time and
yeah,
freedom.
that's what you need.
Enjoy it.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Go
yes.
live. Do a million things. Yeah.
So you have the hot sauce. You apparently eat it. What do you eat with the hot sauce?
Oh, anything and everything. You'd be
Uh-huh.
surprised what people will put hot sauce on. I've seen people put hot sauce on vanilla ice cream.
Wow, I never heard that.
Yeah. Any meat,
Uh-huh.
veggies, pretty much. I've seen people put it on everything,
Wow.
all kinds of stuff, just to give a kick. You could stick a little dab of it in lemonade to give
Wow.
it like a punch.
Okay, that's good.
You could stick some in beer to
Uh-huh.
just add to the bubbles, just to make them really just have like even more sting. This You'd be surprised. I
Wow.
go to some hot sauce conventions when I can,
Uh-huh.
and I used to go a ton, but those things are a blast. They are
Wow.
so much fun.
I bet you.
Highly recommended. If you ever get to go to a hot sauce festival,
Uh-huh.
go. Yeah. And you'd be surprised, like the things that they cook up
Uh-huh.
and pair sauces up with, makes you think, oh, I never thought of that, and it's good. Very
Wow.
good. Yeah.
Cool, cool. You working on any other albums besides the solo albums that's done right now?
As far as things that I play on,
Right.
no, no. Right now I'm just working on other people's albums. There's a band from Baltimore called Shavrock,
Uh-huh.
and it's these brothers. Their last name is Shavrick, and someone said to them, "You should," and they did a show and like, "You should be called Shavrock."
Uh-huh.
And so they called the band Shavrock. We did one song. They drove up from Baltimore to record here. Came out so good. Now they're doing a whole album,
Wow.
and we're about halfway done with that. It's really good, interesting stuff. Just feel good rock songs.
Cool.
It's like musically, like the songs remind me a bit of like Daughtry, Three Doors Down, but the guitarist is very much like Slash
Uh-huh.
type sound. So there's a lot of like good blues rock guitar playing in it. And he likes to add harmonies, almost like the Scorpions, to the
Wow.
stuff. But the vocals,
Uh-huh.
the singer has a very clean voice, and he writes words that are so uplifting and just about faith and hope. And and they do these vocal harmonies that are almost like Simon and Garfunkel, and he plays acoustic guitar. So it's this very interesting mix and identity to their stuff. And it's coming out great, and such catchy songs. They stick in your head, the choruses. So there's that. There was another band that I used to record. I did their first album in 1998. And we did like 3 albums together back then. It's a doom metal band called Evoken. And they're amazing. They've actually been very influential in that world. Fantastic band. So we're doing a new album. After 20 years, we haven't done an album together.
Wow.
And they were just in this weekend finishing up vocals and guitar leads, and it sounds so good. So now I got to start mixing it. What else? Just this morning before we signed on, I was doing a last minute tweak to an album from a fine young gentleman named Dennis Atlas, who is an incredible keyboard player and singer. My God, what a voice. He used to have a tribute band called QRST, and it was a tribute, Queen Rush Styx tribute.
Wow.
And he could sing all of that stuff with ease naturally. Incredible singer. He is now, since last summer, he is a member of Toto.
Wow.
Yep.
Cool.
He's
Very
in Toto. So he's doing vocals and keyboards and phenomenal. And he's just a young dude in his 20s.
wow.
And so just finished up, that was the final tweak on his solo album. So those mixes are done, the mastering is done. So next thing we're going to do is just work on the sequencing and the spacing, and I'll make them the DDP, which is for CD manufacturing, the special set of files that the manufacturers use. And if he needs for vinyl or uploads, just regular spaced individual files and everything. And then he'll be done. What else? There's a young drummer, teenager, named Thomas Thunder, great drummer that writes this insane progressive stuff. So I will play guitar leads and rhythms on it. Derek Sherinian does keyboards. Tony Franklin plays bass, all to just give him support. And then I mix his songs. So I have another one of his that I just have to throw down a lead on. And what else? There's just so many. There's a young lady from Ottawa, the Ottawa area in Canada. And she is this great singer. She can sing like heart songs like they're nothing. And she writes her own songs, and she plays every instrument. She's a good guitar player, good pianist, and she has her own home studio and records everything. So then I help her, and I gave her guitar lessons for a good couple of years online as well. And then we do these online mixing sessions where she sends me the files and I mix, and just listening through Zoom and mixing her stuff as well. So keeping super busy in the studio. Now that band, the Dodies that I mentioned before, Dodies, you must check them out.
I will.
Their third album is coming out. They are so amazing. The singing guitar player is a very Kurt Cobainish, deep, tortured soul. Right. And the melodies he comes out with are like, they're not ones I've heard before, and they work so well. It's so interesting. And he loves just making interesting sounds with his stuff. The drummer plays the whole drum set with just one arm.
Wow.
Then he plays keyboards on a bass with his left hand while he's playing, and sings backing vocals.
Wow.
And then every once in a while, he'll pick up a drumstick that's sitting on his keyboard and then play like this, and there's no keyboard bass, and the guitar player will kick on an octave pedal that runs to a bass amp, and he becomes the bassist and doubles up everything he's playing with a bass sound besides his guitar. And his singing voice is so interesting. Some people compare it to like The Darkness, like he has that wide, high range, but it's so multi-dimensional, the things he does with his voice. And they have such personality when you watch their videos. I gotta send you some stuff.
Cool.
When you get a chance, check out videos, the Dodies song Falsetto, which is gonna be on their new album.
Right.
Check out that first video called Boiling Point. It really shows their personality. Another one called Science from their second album. Phenomenal band. The only reason that they're not bigger is because they don't live in the US and they can't get a visa to tour here. So they're still trying.
Wow.
And that holds a lot of people back.
Yes.
I was talking recently to Max Ostro, who is probably the best guitar player of the young generation coming up. Right. He lives out in like almost Siberia, like all the way out in Russia. And he is the most amazing guitar player and a great dude. We did a show together in Moscow in 2018. And we're on an album together that a friend of mine put together of all these different guitarists that he made backing tracks of all this weird music. And then we all just take each song and just do our own thing to it. It's called Anywhere Door is the name of the album. Anywhere Door is like the project name, and Observables is the name of the album, actually. Right. So Guthrie is on there, I'm on there, like a million different people. My friend Matthias Eklund from Sweden is on there, Max is on there. And Max is working on his solo album. And he needs a visa so that he could get out to the US so he could do the NAMM show and all these things. It's really tough now, for years actually, for musicians to get visas to come here and play.
Right, yeah.
Which is a shame because they're the good ones. They're the ones that we should be bringing into the country and enriching this country with great music and performances and everything.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah. So hopefully they can get visas, come here, blow people's minds, and keep coming back.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you tell me a little bit about the comic book?
Well, that is something that I've wanted to do for years. I mean, hell, my name is Bumblefoot. Like it's, I should be a comic book character. So that's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and it would go perfectly with this album.
Right.
So Deko, they brought it up because they're immersed in that world.
Right, yeah.
So they said, would you be up for doing a comic book? I was like, oh, I'm so glad you asked me that. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So we just had a chat about it a couple of days ago, just talking about what the steps are to make that happen.
Right.
So now it is on me to start thinking of a very strange storyline and just characters and everything. And that is yet another thing on the to-do list that I need to do. Yeah.
Cool, 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 cool. Matter of fact, you're talking about visa. I had an interview before yours today with a girl named Danny, a girl, and she lives in Chile, and she had the same problem. She said, I can't even play for free because they'll deport me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Even if you play for free, anybody,
Right.
it's considered working. It's
Exactly.
considered working where you're not getting paid.
Yep.
And you have to have a work visa, or what'll happen is if you get caught,
That's what she
they
said.
just won't let you back.
Yep. She said
Yeah.
the police will come in and just take you, and you're out. So that's something else. Unbelievable. Terrible. Well, Ron, it was great talking to you. Congratulations on Returns. January 24th, 10 days away.
Yeah, it's coming up quickly. Yeah, I can't wait for people to hear this stuff. We got Brian May, a beautiful guest solo, Steve Vai, and an out of this world one, and just everybody who contributed did wonderful things. And from Jersey, Jerry Gaskill, he laid drums on one of the songs as well. So yeah, of King's X.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, it was great talking to you. I wish you the best. Make sure everybody, go check out the bundles, pick up, listen to the videos, whatever, everything. Check it out. Bumblefoot, you're one of the best. One of the best. I had a so intense interview. I loved it. It felt like you're here with me, hanging.
Exactly. Well, almost. I'm like a half-hour drive away.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for reaching out to do this. And it's nice to see your face again. And hopefully again soon.
Cool. So what are your wishes for this album?
What are my wishes?
Yes.
At this point, all I care about is that people enjoy it. That's it. I hope people enjoy it. I hope they like the songs. I hope it gives them a smile. If they're guitar players or anything, I hope it gives them some inspiration, makes them want to pick up and play and enjoy themselves. And that is it. Simple as that. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Ron. I appreciate the chat.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Definitely appreciate it.
Later.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too.